All right, I am feeling really good right now because I was able to pull the open source repository from Livewire down, connect it to a local project, find the issue, reproduce it, fix it, have a unit tests that ensures that what I fixed is working. Um, and again, even with all that being said, maybe I didn't fully fix the issue. Maybe there's something else out there that the maintainer is going to know about that I don't. But what I do know and what I keep coming back to is I know that what I've done is helpful. Whether it fully fixes the issue or partially fixes the issue, I don't know. The other thing is maybe the maintainer doesn't like this approach. Maybe the maintainer knows some place that the code always gets to before it gets to any of these methods, and he can do a check there to make sure we rebuild the manifest. Who knows? But like I said, I do know, I'm very confident that what I've done is helpful. And so it's time to commit this and push it back up and get my PR submitted. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I want to commit what I've done here. And every time I like to do this through PHP Storm, you might just do a commit through your command line, your terminal, whatever you prefer. I like this because I can see everything I did and it helps me write a good commit message. So I removed this exception because it's not being used. I added our checks in 2 places, and then I also updated the exception that's thrown here. And then I just changed this other file, which is just the test. I changed the name of it because it's no longer can be added, but they are automatically added to the manifest. And then we just kind of took away looking to catch this exception because the exception should never be thrown. We're going to take care of it automatically. So everything here looks good. For my commit message, when I'm doing my internal projects, I like to do WIP. But for this, I want to do a really nice detailed commit message. So let's pull that down just a little bit so I can see. I'm going to say updated Livewire manager to rebuild manifest if a component class is not found, and try to resolve the component again with the rebuilt manifest. Okay, so this is a kind of a bit of a long-winded description of what I did, but I think especially the maintainer of this open source project is going to understand this pretty well. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to commit and push it to my repository. Click this button to do my final push. And there we go. So now I want to go back to GitHub. So here we are in GitHub. I want to keep these issues open actually because I want to reference those. So no, I don't want the image. I want my profile. I'm going to close this out. I'm done with that for now. And let's look at my repositories. I have Livewire right here, updated 27 seconds ago. So since I did this, there have already been 6 more commits to master. So hopefully what I've done is not going to have any conflicts with whatever's been done on the master branch. And if it does, I'll just have to resolve those, and that's okay. But so I'm 1 commit ahead of master, and what I want to do now is submit a pull request. So I can do this through here really easily. You can also do this through your command line, but for me, I like to see it in the UI. And so when I click this button, there's some basic checks to make sure that it can be merged, so there's no conflicts, which is great. And so what I want to do, just review one more time. I already did this in my IDE, but all of these changes look good to me. I have a commit message already, and so when I click this, it gives me the opportunity to fill out this template. And this is really important. Like I said, aside from the commit message I had, this is where it's really important. So remember how when we pulled the project down and started looking through it, and we were like, well, this isn't my code. I don't really understand it. Maybe you did better than I did, but it's difficult to look at someone else's code and just understand it by the code. So let's make sure we're really descriptive in what we've done here. And also look at whatever the template is here. So is this something wanted or needed? Let's fill this out because this is what the maintainer wants to know when he's reviewing a pull request. So is this something that's wanted or needed? Yes. There are open issues that this will solve. And I'm going to list out the issues. This is important because the maintainer is going to want to close those issues once he pulls this in. So I know I've got 389. And 165. And there may be others, I'm not sure, but I want to at least mark those two. All right, does it contain multiple unrelated changes? No. So again, here's an example. In this repository, you don't have to have tests. There are some maintainers that won't even review a PR if it doesn't have tests, but I want to explain exactly what I did. There was an existing test that required a manual command to rebuild the manifest. I changed that one to remove the command to rebuild it, and verified that it is rebuilt automatically with no user input necessary. So this description will hopefully tell the maintainer what I was thinking when I made those changes. All right, a thorough description. Many instances where where the manifest can become out of date and throw an exception. Before any exception is thrown, I am rebuilding the manifest and double checking to see if the component can be found in the updated manifest. Again, maybe it's a bit wordy, maybe it's overkill, but like I said, I like to be as descriptive as possible. Thanks for contributing. Wonderful here. If there's something that you weren't sure, like I didn't know if maybe this would work or that would work, that's perfectly fine too. You could say, hey, I tried to add another test but couldn't get it to work. Here's what I tried to do. Anything like that. All of that can be helpful to the maintainer. So now I just need to fix this. So we'll call this resolve component not found exception when manifest is out of date. Okay, so this really explains what I was doing. The one other thing I do want to mention, again, let's be as thorough as possible. I also saw a generic exception might be thrown for a component not found, and I changed it to the more specific exception class. All right, going back to what I always say, all this work in typing this out, I am confident I'm being helpful. And that's my goal. I want to be helpful. So I feel like this is good. I am ready to create the pull request. Again, allow edits for maintainers. I always allow edits. This is their code base. So of course, if they want to change it, they're more than welcome to. Let's go ahead and submit our pull request. Okay, there we go. So now you can see that I've submitted the pull request. Now it's sitting there waiting for the maintainer to review it. Understand maintainers are busy people, and he might not get to this today or tomorrow or this week or this month, and that's okay. He's going to get to it eventually, and when he does, I'm going to feel really confident that what I did was helpful. Either he's going to merge it in, or it's going to help him figure out how he wants to solve it himself. So congratulations if this helped you to submit your own pull request. I feel good about this. It's not my first, but every time I submit a pull request, I feel really good about it, and I hope you do too.